Bhagavate Vahaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiv Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloki Bhakti Naitiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, Chapter 6, the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunath Das Goswami, text 194 onwards. So yesterday we discussed how Raghunath Das Goswami reached Jagannath Puri and he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu told him, last verse was, the mercy of Lord Krishna is stronger than anything else. Therefore, the Lord has delivered you from the ditch of materialistic life, which is like a hole into which people pass stool. So further, he's saying, Raghunath mane kahe Krishna nahi jani, tava kripa kadila ayami mani. Raghunath Das answered within his mind, I do not know who Krishna is. I simply know that your mercy, O my Lord, has saved me from my family life. प्रभु कहें तोमार पिता जेठ दुई जाने चक्रवर्ती संबंधे आज कर ईमान. The Lord continued, your father and his elder brother are both related as brothers to my grandfather, Nilamba Chakravarti. Therefore, I consider them my grandfathers. Nilamba Chakravarti, the grandfather of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was very intimately related to Raghunath Das's father and uncle. Nilamba Chakravarti used to call them his younger brothers because both of them were very much devoted to the Brahmins and were very respectable gentlemen. Similarly, they used to call him Dada Chakravarti and addressing him as an elder brother Brahman. Raghunath Das, however, was almost the same age as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Generally, a grandchild may joke about his grandfather. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took advantage of the relationship between his grandfather and Raghunath Das's father and uncle to speak in a joking way. Chakravartir duhe hai bhratra rupadas atev tare ami kari parihas. Since a father and his elder brother are younger brothers of Nilamba Chakravarti, I may joke about them in this way. तुम्हारे बाप जेठ विषय विष्ट गर्तेर कीड़ा सुख करी माने विषय विषेर महापीड़ा. My dear Raghunath Das, your father and his elder brother are just like worms in stool in the ditch of material enjoyment. For the great disease of the poison of material enjoyment is what they consider happiness. So can we imagine if somebody calls my father or my uncle like this? But there's a different relationship between Mahaprabhu, Raghunath Das Goswami, and all others. When a man is attached to material enjoyment, he is attached to many miserable conditions. But nevertheless, he accepts his condemned position as one of happiness. Sense enjoyment is so strong for such a person that he cannot give it up. Exactly as a worm in stool cannot give up the stool. From the spiritual point of view, when a person is too absorbed in material enjoyment, he is exactly like a worm in stool. Although such a position is utterly miserable to the eyes of liberated souls, the materialistic enjoyer is greatly attached to it. So, as a worm in stool cannot give up the stool, because for him that is the place for wonderful enjoyment. He's enjoying it. He's in bliss over there. Because that's all he needs, that's all he wants, and he has plenty of it. But for a liberated person, when he sees somebody trying to enjoy material life, and in the In the process, he is getting suffering. And there is so much more misery awaiting him in the future. So liberated person can see it, but we don't. यद्यपि ब्राह्मण्य करे ब्राह्मणेर सहाय शुद्ध वैष्णव नाहे आए वैष्णवेर प्राय. Although your father and uncle are charitable to Brahmins and greatly help them, they are nevertheless not pure Vaishnavas. However, they are almost like Vaishnavas. As stated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Samrit Prabha Bhashya, some people, usually very rich men, dress like Vaishnavas and give charity to the Brahmins. They are also attached to deity worship, but because of their attachment to material enjoyment, they cannot be pure Vaishnavas. Anya Bhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anaptita. The pure Vaishnava has no desire for material enjoyment. That is the basic qualification of a pure Vaishnava. There are men, especially rich men, who regularly worship the deity, give charity to Brahmins, and are pious in every respect, but they cannot be pure Vaishnavas. Despite their outward show of Vaishnavism and charity, their inner desire is to enjoy a higher standard of material life. Raghunath Das's father, Govardhan, and uncle Hiranya Das were both very charitable to Brahmins. Indeed, the Brahmins from the Gaudiya district were practically dependent upon them. Thus, they were accepted as very pious gentlemen. However, they presented themselves as Vaishnavas to the eyes of people in general. Although, from a purely spiritual point of view, they were ordinary human beings, not pure Vaishnavas. Actual Vaishnavas consider them almost Vaishnavas, not pure. In other words, they were Kanishtadhikaris, so they were ignorant of higher Vaishnava regulative principles. Nevertheless, they could not be called Vishayi, so blind materialistic enjoyers. So they were pious, almost Vaishnavas, but not pure Vaishnavas. But still, they give lots of donations to the Brahmins, and as Prabhupada said, Brahmins from the Gaudiya district were practically dependent upon them. So they were helping, and in fact, they were also helped Advaita Acharya also. Earlier we studied that. But from their work style, conduct, this is what Prabhupada is citing. They're not pure devotees. but looking at our lifestyle, we are nowhere even close to them. And they had a son like Raghunath Das Goswami, who's one of the 6 Goswamis. So even at that position, Mahaprabhu saying they're not pure Vaishnavas. And we like to be called, oh, he's a pure devotee, she's a pure devotee. And Mahaprabhu saying, parent, father and uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami, they're not pure devotees. So where do we stand actually? Nowhere. So how much more we have to work on our bhakti, on our sadhana, on our bhajan? It's unimaginable. तथापि विषय स्वभाव करे महा अंध सही कर्म कराए आते है भाव बंध. Those who are attached to materialistic life and are blind to spiritual life must act in such a way that they are bound to repeated birth and death by the actions and reactions of their activities. As clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yagyarthat karmano anyatra loko am karma bandhan. If one does not act as a pure devotee, whatever acts he performs will produce reactions of fruitive bondage. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya aprinoti. A materialistic person, madly engaged in activities for sense enjoyment, does not know that he is entangling himself in repeated birth and death, and that his body, although temporary, is full of miseries. A Vishaya, a person blindly caught in the web of materialistic life, remains in the cycle of birth and death perpetually. Such a person cannot understand how to execute pure devotion service, and therefore he acts as a karmic jnani, yogi, or something else, according to his desire. But he does not know that the activities of karma, jnana, and yoga simply bind one to the cycle of birth and death. It's only bhakti takes him away. But it's just not easy to take up this process. हेना विषय हैते कृष्ण उद्धारिला तुम कहा न जाए कृष्ण कृपार मही. By his own free will, Lord Krishna has delivered you from such a condemned materialistic life. Therefore, the glories of Lord Krishna's causeless mercy cannot be expressed. In Brahm Samhita it is said, Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhaja. Lord Krishna is so merciful that he can stop the reactions of karma for his devotee. Everyone from the small insect called Indragopa up to Indra, the king of heaven, is bound by the reactions of fruitive activities. Even insect means in this life of an insect, he doesn't have any fruitive activities, but he got this life. So he was a human being, and that time he committed the fruitive activities. So he got the reactions. Everyone, whether an insect or the king of heaven, is entangled and bound by the actions and reactions of his karma. However, when one becomes a pure devotee, free from material desires and from bondage to karma, jnana, and yoga, one is freed from material actions and reactions by the causeless mercy of Krishna. One cannot express sufficient gratitude to Krishna for being freed from the materialistic way of life. So somehow or other, we got this mercy of Krishna, whatever the reason be. So we got to be grateful to Krishna, grateful to Prabhupada. At least we know the path now. How sincerely we walk on that path, that's up to us. Raghunather Shinata Malinya Dekhiya Sarupere Kahin Prabhu Kripandra Chittahaya. Seeing Raghunath Das skinny and dirty because of having traveled for 12 days and fasted, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his heart melting due to causeless mercy, spoke to Swarup Damodar. Ei Raghunathe Ami Shapinu Tum Are Putra Bhritya Rupe Tumi Karangikare. My dear Swarup, he said, I entrust this Raghunath Das to you. Please accept him as your son or servant. Tin Raghunath Nam Hai Amar Gani Swarupera Raghuvaji Aitihar Nami. There are now 3 Raghunaths among my associates. From this day forward, this Raghunath should be known as Raghu of Swarup Damodar. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had 3 Raghus among his associates: Vaidya Raghunath, Bhatt Raghunath, and Das Raghunath. Das Raghunath became celebrated as Raghunath of Swarupa. Ete kahi Raghunather hastadharila, Swarupera haste tare, samarpan kahila. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu grasped the hand of Raghunath Das and entrusted him to the hands of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swarup kahi Mahaprabhu riyagya haila, ete kahi Raghunathe puna alangela. Swarup Damodar Goswami accepted Raghunath Das, saying, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever your order is accepted. He then embraced Raghunath Das again. Chaitanya Bhakta Vatsalya kahite na pari, Govindere kahe Raghunathe daya kavari. I cannot properly express the affection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his devotees. Being merciful towards Raghunath Das, the Lord spoke as follows to Govinda. Pate iha kariya che bahut langana, kat din kare har bhal santarpan. On the way, Raghunath Das has fasted and undergone hardships for many days. Therefore, take good care of him for some days, so that he may eat to his satisfaction. Raghunath kahe yaya kar sindhu snana, Jagannath dekhi yasi karaha bhojan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das, go bathe in the sea, then see Lord Jagannath in the temple, and return here to take your meal. Ete bali Prabhu madhyana karite util, Raghunath Das sab bhaktere milila. After saying this, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and went to perform his midday duties. And Raghunath met all the devotees present. Raghunathe Prabhur Kripa, Dekhi Bhakta Gana, Vismita Haya Kare Tar Bhagya Prashansahan. Having seen the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon Raghunath Das, all the devotees, struck with wonder, praised his good fortune. Raghunath Samudrayaya Snana Karila, Jagannath Dekhi Puna Govinda Pashai. Raghunath Das took his bath in the sea and saw Lord Jagannath. Then he returned to Govinda, the personal servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhura avashishta patra Govinda tare dila, anandita haya Raghunatha prasada paila. Govinda offered him a plate with the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Raghunath Das accepted the prasadam with great happiness. Ei mata rahite swarupa charane, Govinda prasada tare, lila pantatine. Raghunath Das stayed under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami, and Govinda supplied him remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's food for 5 days. Aar din haite pushpa anjali dekhiya, simma dware khada rahe, bhikshara lagiya. Beginning from the 6th day, Raghunath Das would stand at the gate known as Simudwar to beg alms after the Pushpanjali ceremony in which flowers were offered to the Lord. So now, further austerities of Raghunath Das Goswami have started. From such a landlord, wealthy family, I is standing at the Simudwar begging as a beggar is. And that is from the 6th day onwards. It's not like it took a long time. Jagannather sevakayat vishayirgan seva sari ratre kare krihite gaman. After finishing the prescribed duties, the many servants of Lord Jagannath, who are known as Vishayis, return home at night. Simandware annarthi Vaishnava dekhiya Pasharira Thaiyan Tena Kripata Kari. If they see a Vaishnava standing at the Simandwar begging alms, out of mercy they arrange with the shopkeepers to give him something to eat. Eimata sarva kalacha vyavahara nishkinchana bhakta kana simandvara. Thus it is a custom for all the time that a devotee who has no other means of support stands at the Simandwar gate to receive alms from the servants. Sarvadin karen Vaishnav Nama Sankirtana, Swachande karen Jagannatha Darshana. A completely dependent Vaishnav thus chants the holy name of the Lord all day and sees Lord Jagannath with full freedom. Keha chatre magi khaye, yeva kichu paye, keha ratre bhiksha lagi, semadvare ram. It is a custom for some Vaishnavas to beg from the charity booth and eat whatever they obtain. whereas others stand at night at the Simdwar, begging alms from the servants. So there are charity booths in Jagannath temple or in Puri also. So, so devotees who have no other way of living, they just stand there and get their food. महाप्रभुर भक्त गणेर वैराग्य प्रधान यहाँ देखी प्रीत है या गौरव भगवान. A very important thing to listen. Renunciation is a basic principle sustaining the lives of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. Seeing this renunciation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is extremely satisfied. So anyone, whether an ordinary materialistic person or a pure devotee, can understand the behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees if he studies it minutely. One will thus find that the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not at all attached to any kind of material enjoyment. They have completely given up sense enjoyment to engage fully in the service of Lord Krishna and dedicate their lives and souls to serving Krishna without material desires. Because their devotional service is free from material desires, it is unimpeded by material circumstances. Although ordinary men have great difficulty understanding this attitude of the devotees, it is greatly appreciated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Chaitanya. So Mahaprabhu Bhakta Ganer Vairagya Prabhu, not at all attached to material enjoyment. So this obviously happens when we make progress in it. Then because we are getting attached more and more to Krishna, to his service, other attachments slowly, they go away. Don't need it actually. प्रभु रे गोविंद कहे रघुनाथ प्रसाद न लाए रात्रे सिम द्वारे खड़ा है या मांगी खाए. Govinda said to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Raghunath Das no longer takes prasadam here. Now he stands at the Simdwar where he begs some alms to eat. So slowly we'll see the level of austerity of Raghunath Das. It's amazing. So Govinda told that Raghunath Das doesn't eat here anymore. So he stands at the Simdwar and he begs. Suni tushta haya Prabhu kahite lagila. Phala kaila vairagir dharma acharya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he was greatly satisfied. Raghunath Das has done well, he said. He has acted suitably for a person in the renounced order. See, just like when Mahaprabhu met Sanatana Goswami in Varanasi. So Sanatana Goswami had nothing except that woolen blanket. And Mahaprabhu didn't say anything, but he would always look at that blanket. So Sanatana Goswami understood Mahaprabhu doesn't like it. So he went and exchanged it with the torn quilt from a beggar, the banks of Ganga. And when he came back, Mahaprabhu was very satisfied. So Mahaprabhu Bhakta Ganer Vairagya. And not just Shushk Vairagya, dry renunciation. The Vairagya is because of their attachment to Krishna, of the mood to serve Krishna. And then the real Vairagya happens. So anyway, we'll stop here and read tomorrow or further Raghunath Das Goswami performed austerities. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, still a great You can say Bhakti, and example actually a very high standard for Vaishnava standard. But we are struggling with small things, Prabhuji. We are having so much attachment. We are so much angry if things doesn't go our way. How we will get over it? Even in spite of chanting, I know chanting is not going right. That's why it's all coming. So how we can do that, Prabhuji? Slight
That's
progress.
the only way. There's no other process. Chanting, chanting, chanting. Nothing else.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So keep on chanting.
No taste for chanting, Prabhuji. It's like everything is going mechanical, it feels like.
See, you're chanting 16 rounds, right? Minimum,
Yes,
right?
Prabhuji. 16 rounds. Yeah.
Were you chanting 16 rounds from day one?
No, Prabhuji.
So you have increased, right? So some taste is there, that's why increased.
Sometimes the backlog also goes in for toss, no, Prabhuji. It's like if slight disturbance in routine, our rounds get affected. And if the round gets affected, our mood, our thoughts, everything get affected again, then we feel like we are sinking in deep ocean of material desire, material things all around us.
See, beta, we cannot imitate Raghunath Das Goswami or Haridas Thakur. They are the ideals. They're the perfections. We cannot imitate them, but that is our goal actually. That's all. So
Yes,
as a grahastha, having a husband, kid, family members to take care of, it's difficult. It's not that easy. And again, keep on chanting and doing other services. So so keep on doing. Just do whatever best you can.
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Hare
You all have a
Krishna.
safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.